would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone.
Okay, you guys, the summer slide is officially here. And I'm not talking about the kids forgetting their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. When I say summer slide, I'm talking about mama getting no cleaning done in this house. That's pretty much the only thing that has slid off the face of this planet. There is no organization going on in this house. There is no cleaning going on in this house. There is no picking up going on in this house. Keeping the kids busy, making sure they have a summer of fun has been the priority, and we've certainly been doing that. It's a full-time gig trying to keep these kids busy. Knowing that things in my home are not in a state that I like makes my mind crazy. So I definitely feel it when my home is not up to par the way I like it, clean. So I decided tonight was the night. I am getting things done in this kitchen. It may not have looked that bad to you, or maybe it did. Maybe you are appalled by what I just showed you in the daylight. But there is a film of just crust on these countertops that you can feel the second you put your hand on it. And that drives me bonkers. So we are taking this kitchen apart, countertop by countertop, because when things get crazy, my mind gets crazy. That's how I operate. I am one of these people that actually does enjoy cleaning. I enjoy the process of cleaning. I enjoy the after of cleaning. Don't get me wrong, I don't enjoy cleaning everything. I dislike very much cleaning any shower, especially my own. I feel like it never gets 100% clean, and I think that's what annoys me the most about it, is that I spend so much time in there and it never looks 100% clean. But we are cleaning the kitchen tonight, and this is one of actually my favorite places to clean in the house, and maybe it's just because it's the place we spend the most time. But when I say clean, I mean mama clean. Of course, I try to quote unquote maintain daily, multiple times daily. But it does get to the point where things just need to be completely ripped apart and taken off the counters. And I'm happy that I actually started taking down the summer decorations in the process. So when I say summer decor, I mean like the 4th of July, Americana, red, white, and blue. Those are the things that we're taking down from the kitchen while I do this clean tonight. Who else out there is a night owl? So I've never in my life been a morning person. I like to think I can be a morning person. I was told growing up, especially when you're in high school and you're getting on the bus in the wee hours of the morning, when you set your clock at the same time every day, your internal clock will always wake up. Yeah, okay. That never happened to me. I have never internally woke up at any time, except for, what's funny enough? I went to bed after cleaning and editing this video last night around, well, I should say this morning around 2:33 a.m. And it's actually 7 a.m. right now while I'm doing this voiceover. So I'd say maybe I'll check back with you around 2 p.m. because I'm sure I'm just going to zombify and be walking around like I'm in the Twilight Zone. But anyway, coincidentally enough, I'm up early this morning. But I am typically not a morning person. Never happened to me. My internal clock has not set. And I just turned the big 4-0. So I'm kind of assuming it's just something that I don't have in me. But what I do have in me is to stay up at all hours of the night. I've always been a night owl. That may be the reason why me and crafting go together so well, because it's something that I have to do typically at night when the kids are all asleep. And it just fills the time. So I love to craft at night, but I also love to clean at night. I've just been so tired these past few weeks at night because we are just going. And when you're out in the heat all day, man, that really takes a toll. So I've been exhausted at night, but tonight we are doing it. I had a cappuccino at a girlfriend's house. I am wired. So I am cleaning, and my hopes were, I was really thinking like, oh yeah, I'm going to do the kitchen. I'm going to do the family room. I'm going to go in the laundry room. I'm going to do the playroom. I'm going to get in the dining room. Like, what on earth am I ever thinking when I start to clean? Like, I'm just thinking I'm going to get everything done. And that's not the case. And I think that's why a lot of the times I get overwhelmed. Stay with me here, and you'll have to please comment and let me know if you're the same. I am, I think by nature, an all or nothing person. I look at something that may be getting dirty, starting to get dirty, and yeah, I'll clean it and I'll get it to a point where it's fine, but then it'll get dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. And then at that point, I'm like, oh, okay, I really have to like do a deep cleaning now. And instead of taking the time to just kind of maintain, that stops because I'm just like, I might as well let it go. I know I need to give it a really good clean. And I'm not just talking about the kitchen. I'm talking about everywhere in my home. The showers, the bathrooms. I will get to the point where I'm like, I know I have to do this, but I don't always have the luxury, or pretty much never have the luxury, especially in the summer, of just stopping what I'm doing and taking 3 hours to clean. That doesn't happen. So what happens is things just pile up and get worse. And my mental state is just, it's gone because the state of my home directly affects the state of my brain. So we get to this point where I am thinking about it during the day. I am like dreading coming home because I know that there are so many things I have to do, and it gets extremely, extremely overwhelming. And that's just inevitable in the summer. My kids do not do camp. I shouldn't say that. My daughter does camp. She does theater camp. But my boys are not camp kids. I grew up not being a camp kid. I was blessed to be able to have a stay-at-home mom. My sister and I did not go to camp. If the boys want to go to camp, 100%, but I don't force the issue. So it's basically camp mom, and it's every day to just keep them happy and, quite frankly, from killing one another. So we have been on the go, go, go. But that means that things are suffering and falling behind at home. And that's life, right? Like, we moms work. We moms work multiple jobs. We moms stay at home, and we try to do everything and anything that we can do to just keep our kids happy and healthy and thriving. And a lot of the times, the things that are other things that are important to us fall to the wayside. So I used to do this a lot. I used to night clean a lot, especially when the kids are in school. Okay. So when they go back to school, there is a somewhat of a routine. In the summer, there is, I don't even know what the word schedule is. It reminds me of like the word nap. Like my fourth and my third and my fourth never knew what a nap was because we were always on the go with my first and my second. The summer knows no schedule. We are on no schedule. The only one who's on a schedule is Emmy because she goes to camp, but she's super easy and it just works itself out. But summer knows no schedule. So my kids are up late, and therefore, any cleaning that I want to do or try to do is usually minimal because I'm either just exhausted from what we've done that day, or the kids are just awake and they're kids. They want a snack. They want to come in the kitchen and get 8,000 glasses of water. They just want to open every cabinet because they're looking for something in particular, and they're taking everything out while they're looking. They're kids, and even though I want to scream, I have to remind myself that they're kids and this is their nature and what they automatically do. So, with that being said, this night we had a really fun day at a water park, and I knew that they would be exhausted, especially my 10-year-old did a water park and 3 hours of football. So, my older one had friends over after the water park. So, we had a pretty packed day. My daughter had friends, so I didn't have guilt of making them all go to bed at a semi-decent time. And when I tell you semi-decent, it was still 10 o'clock at night. But in the summer, that's early. So I made them all kind of go upstairs and start to relax. That doesn't mean my oldest came down at one point and wanted to throw pretzel bites in the air fryer. So I took advantage of it being a quiet home. I put on a nice backdrop on my TV. I usually will put on music. I didn't do that tonight because somebody took the Alexa and moved it, and I was too lazy to use any other form of music, whatever, a radio. I don't know. How else do you listen to music anymore? I don't know. There's only a million ways. But I lit a candle as I showed you in a little bit ago. I lit my lemon candle because it's still summertime and we're still in summer mode over here. And I just started cleaning. And you know what? I found this wish, like one of those things that you blow outside. How it got in the house, I have no idea. But in my mind, I'm going to use that as good luck. So I found a wish. I made a wish and I blew it in my house. And I'm going at it. I love this. There's a lot of things I love. Cleaning like this, where I am taking things apart and I am kind of redecorating right now. Anything you see me doing tonight is not going to stay this way for long because I'm going to be decorating for fall really soon. But I love redecorating and just moving things around and cleaning. Like, this is therapy for me, which I think is why one of the reasons is why my brain gets so frazzled when things are messy, is just because I truly find this therapeutic. And I know for people who don't enjoy cleaning, probably looking at me sideways, and that's okay. You can look at me sideways all you want. I could get a lot of sideways looks for multiple things. I find this very calming. I find this very soothing. I find this resets my mental clock in a way, even though I only got the kitchen and I didn't do the floor. I didn't vacuum. I didn't mop. I brushed all the crumbs onto the floor. There's a lot of things I don't accomplish tonight, but the things I do accomplish make such a difference in my mental state. Knowing that the kitchen right now is clean for the most part makes me so happy and honestly motivates me to do other rooms in the house. I'm hoping I'm not going to be so exhausted tonight that it prevents me from doing the family room, because that's really where I want to hit next. And if I can kind of do this for the rest of the weekend and maybe into earlier next week and really just reset everything and get all the 4th of July and red, white, and blue stuff away and really just get everything clean and ready to go for fall. So let me tell you a little bit about fall over here. Okay, fall is my favorite season. Fall is my favorite time to decorate. Christmas is my favorite holiday. Fall is my favorite season. It will look like fall threw up in my house, just putting it out there. If clutter is not your game, if over decorating is not your game, if you're a minimalist, I still want you to stick around. Don't go anywhere. I'm not judging you at all. But I also don't want you to judge me because I am a maximalist. More is more over here. And if it's something that brings me happiness, if it's something that brings me joy, yeah, darn tootin', I'm going to do whatever I can to enhance that. So all that to say is I decorate big here for fall. Big, big, big. And I cannot decorate in a way that is therapeutic for me or fun when my kids are around. I just can't. It is impossible. I will leave a few things for my daughter and my youngest to kind of help me with. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they don't get to do anything, but the bulk of the decorating needs to be done when they go back to school. It just has to be done. And our district here goes back pretty much right after Labor Day, especially this year. I feel like they're going back early, right after Labor Day. So that is when you will start seeing some fall decorating going on here. I definitely plan on putting out some fall content really soon. I want to go through all my bins. Oh my gosh, I have bins and bins and bins, probably just as much as Christmas. With fall decor, I have so much stuff. And I've been to Hobby Lobby and I wanted to go crazy and I held back because I can't remember what I got last year. Like, I can't remember that. So I have to go through everything. So that's going to be probably something coming up because that might be another night thing. That might be something I do in my basement at night, is just go through a few of my bins, see what it is I have, see what it is I have duplicates of because I couldn't wait and I bought more of it. So that's all coming up. But I'm really hopeful that I can get this house. It'll never be 100%. Let's just be honest. It'll never be 100%. But I just want to get it to a place where I'm happy to be starting to bring out all my fall stuff, all my fall decorations, because when my house is a mess, I cannot do any of that. No, no, ma'am, not happening. I'm not bringing my fall decorations out in a dirty house. It's just not happening. And I'll clean again before I put my fall stuff out, without a doubt, because in 3 weeks from now, there's no way that the house is going to stay. There's no way the kitchen's going to stay clean like this. I mean, it's 7 o'clock the following morning right now. And there's no way. It will definitely, by 10 a.m., the kitchen will look as if I've done nothing. But I know in my mind that I did. One of the reasons, and there's many, and hopefully the more videos I do, the more comfortable I get, the more I will voice to you why I started this YouTube channel. But one of the reasons is honestly therapy for me. Sometimes being a mom, a stay-at-home mom for 15 years now. I stopped working when I was pregnant with my first at some point. So I feel like I've really been a stay-at-home mom for over 14 years. And my husband works a ton, especially early in the earlier years of my two oldest being little and moving into this house. It was a little bit lonely. I was raising two kids basically on my own at that point, trying to maintain a household, trying to do everything that us moms do. And as the years have gone on and talking with other moms and just kind of hearing them confide in me a lot of times about things that they're almost like embarrassed to say, things that are stressing them, things that are going on in their home, things that their kids are doing. And as they're telling me these things, and I'm not getting into like specific things, but just general, as they're telling me these things, they're almost like a bit of embarrassment connected to them, or like, I don't know, like a stigma connected to them. Meanwhile, I'm looking at them like they have five heads because what they're telling me is a feeling that I literally feel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or it's something that just happened to me that morning, or, it's just that camaraderie we have as moms or just women in general. I just think to myself, like, man, if other women can just see what really is happening in most of our lives, I think everyone would just breathe a sigh of relief, right? What do they say? This is probably a terrible term to use as a mom, but misery loves company. That's probably highly inappropriate. I am not miserable. I don't think any one of those moms that were telling me everything is miserable. But I think what I'm trying to say is when you find comfort in knowing that you're not alone. And one of the reasons why I wanted to start this channel, and one of the reasons why I originally named it No Shame Mom Game, is because there's no shame. There is no shame in how anybody feels as a woman, as a mom, as a wife, as a sister, as a friend. There can't be shame attached to how you feel, because that is what causes embarrassment. That's what causes you to not want to vent. That, sometimes keeps you from confiding in one another. So the point of this channel, one of the many points of this channel is to just let you know, reassure myself that you're not alone. Everyone is going through something. Of course, there's always different variations of what everyone is going through. But as a mom, things that we go through can seem very insignificant, right? We are blessed. If you're a mom, if you're a child, if you have children, you have stepchildren, you have nieces and nephews that you consider children, uh, anything like that, you are blessed, because to be a mom figure, a grandma, is a blessing. So sometimes when we start to complain or feel less than or have guilt, it's, for me, and I'm speaking for myself, totally speaking for myself, it's an internal battle of, oh my gosh, I am blessed with four beautiful children. I have an amazing husband. I get to stay home and raise my kids and clean my home. Like, stop complaining. Like, this is what I have 10 people who live in my head. So this is probably like Susie telling me that she's on the right side of my brain, telling me like, stop complaining. You have this beautiful life with these beautiful children, a great husband, like, which more can you want, right? Yada, yada, yada. But that doesn't negate feelings that we have as moms and as women. So it's such a hard balance. And I'm 14 years in, still trying to find it. It's difficult. I may have started to blabber and I may have totally derailed this train, but hopefully you understand a little bit, some, maybe an ounce of what I'm saying. Anyway, we're up to the kitchen table at this point. We are 20 minutes in. I am showing you this nifty little gadget that I came late to the game. They're those plug-in things that catch the fruit flies. They work like a charm. When I plugged these back in, I probably thought I only had one or two of these guys floating around here. And look at all of these. Look at what these caught. And it's only been like a day or two that I've had them plugged in. So if you have any fruit fly issues, get yourself these. I'll link them. And the refills, I got a ton in a pack for like $5. And I probably change those refills if maybe once a month, if that. And I meant to stop myself and tell you this about 10 minutes ago, but if I sound super nasally, it's because this is how I wake up in the morning. I have allergies, and this is just how I wake up in the morning. I am very nasally. My voice is very raspy, and I apologize. This is what's going to happen when I do try to be a morning person. It's my body rejecting being a morning person. That's what's happening right now. If you missed my little Christmas in July thrift haul, this was in it. This is a butter churner, okay? A butter churner. It is absolutely adorable. And I've had it kind of sitting in our empty room, just hanging there without a rhyme or reason. Didn't even take the tape or the tag off yet. So I decided to clean up this corner here. I wiped up the floor because anytime I bring anything new into the house, I need to clean wherever I'm going to put it. So I just wiped the floor, and I'm showing you that this says it was made in Texas and all that. So if you're a thrifter, if you're watching this video, you very well may not be. You might be just here for the cleaning, but this was one of my favorite finds. And it was in my Christmas video because this pattern here just reminds me of Christmas. So I'm giving it a good wipe down, and look how cute this is. I can use this as a vase too, but I'm going to put the butter churner back in for now, and I'm going to leave it in that corner, and we're going to move along. I had cleaned the kitchen table earlier this morning, the top of it. So I didn't have to do too much in that department. So if you're like, you totally missed the top of your table, that was why. I just had to take down the red, white, and blue stuff I had on it and do the chairs and the under part that always gets so dusty. While I was taking down and jabbering, I took down this pothos plant. I have lots of live pothos plants on top of my cabinets, and they're all doing beautifully. And while I was up there, I decided to take this one down and give it a good soaking. That's what I like to do. That's how I water my pothos. I put them in my sink. And now I'm showing you how here's that fancy word, propagate my pothos, which is basically just saying cutting clippings from an existing plant and rooting it to create new plants. It sounds complicated. When I used to hear people doing it or see it on Pinterest, I used to say, okay, that sounds like, propagate to me just sounds like a complicated word. We don't use big words over here. You're never going to hear me say I'm curating a vignette. I might use vignette. I do like that word. But curating, no, you're not going to hear me say curating. It doesn't mean I don't make pretty things, okay? I just don't use fancy words. I decorate. That's what I do. I decorate. I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, so what you do is you just cut off clippings. Honestly, I don't think it really matters where you cut them. You just want to put those little nubby things in the water. That's your goal. You want to get the nubs in the water because that's where the root's going to come from. So I always have pothos propagating. There's that word. I always have them growing somewhere in my kitchen because it's that easy to do. I've had multiple plants around our house that have been propagated. Oh, how many times can I say this word now? Let's play a game. Propagated. And it does not have to be in a window. I just happen to be putting it in a window right now. This is my money plant. Love this little thing. Ellie destroyed it. She knocked it over like 10 times. and I just cut off all the broken stems and it's growing back so nicely. But anyway, the pothos plants do not have to be on a window. I have one currently in my bathroom that has no natural sunlight and it's doing beautifully. So don't be intimidated to propagate or grow new plants from your existing plants because it's super easy and you can't kill it. At this point, I'm cleaning off my island that had accumulated everything that I threw up on it and putting away these towels because it's inevitable that I'm going to forget something. Yes, this island still does not have the draw pulls on it. Nope. No, it does not, because my husband has bought the wrong size screws multiple times to put these knobs on here that I'm showing you that I have in this drawer. So they're still not there, and that's okay. Such is life. Here's all the red, white, and blue decorations that have thrown up over here on the counter. And for now, I am going to pile everything up on our bench that we have in our hallway until I take everything down. And I'm showing you here that that plug is driving me bonkers. I wanted to cover it. My goal, I have a lot of outlets. I'm lucky enough to have a lot of outlets in the kitchen, but right now they're all white. They need to be all switched out. And I don't like to see them. So I do try to cover them up as best I can. I thought this picture I picked up from Hobby Lobby just because I liked it. I didn't really have a place in mind where I was going to put it. Was going to work there, but I didn't like it there. So I wound up putting it on my windowsill for now next to my little propagated pothos. And I'm just leaving it there for now. And we're going to be putting so much fall decor in this kitchen that you're not going to even probably see the backsplash at some point. But I can breathe a sigh of relief at this point. My kitchen, everything other than the floor, is reset and back to a state where I can breathe. My family room, as you can still see, has lots of red, white, and blue in it, but I'm hopefully going to tackle that tonight. Don't hold me to it. I will let you know when I wind up actually doing that. I might be another clean with me at night. I think that's might be what's happening. Although today is a day that we were supposed to go to a theme park and we're not going because my husband had to work. So, but I have to do a ton of grocery shopping. So anyway, I'm just showing you now everything in a neutral state, everything in a clean state, everything ready for fall. That's pretty much what it's all screaming to me. And I can't wait to decorate for that. So definitely make sure you're subscribed. I know this was a chatty video. I know that those are not for everyone. I just feel like sometimes I need to chat, and this may be a good outlet for me to do that. And there's never a time when there is not a need to clean. If you're in a similar boat, if your kiddos are home from the summer or your kiddos go to camp and you work and it's really no different than the school year, there's just no time for you to get anything done. Hopefully this video motivates you to just conquer something on your mental to-do list, even if it's something small and minor. And it doesn't have to be at 11:30 at night. It really doesn't. But for me, a lot of the times it does have to be this time. It just does. And I'm okay with it because I'm up anyway. I am that night owl, just hooting and hollering all through the night. That's me. So if you ever need a friend, you ever need to dial me up at 2 a.m., I'm here. I tell that to everyone all the time. I think they think that I'm totally fibbing, but I'm not. I'm truly up at 2 in the morning every night. May change when the kiddos go back to school because my oldest is going into high school and he needs to be up at like 6 in the morning. So that may change when school starts. But for now, I'm definitely a night owl and I'm definitely going to be getting a lot of cleaning done, I believe, over the next week or so at night. Everybody's cleaning routine looks different, and I have no routine in the summer. I truly don't. I'd like to say I do. I like to say I try to stick to certain things, but everything really goes out the window in the summer. And that's how it's supposed to be, right? The kids, they grow up quick, right? We're going to forget these days. And for an anxious person, and if you are one, let me know if you can relate. For an anxious person, that's one of the worst things you can hear is, enjoy these moments. Your kids are only little for so long. Yeah. Do you know the amount of guilt and weight that puts on my shoulder? Because that for me doesn't negate, or it doesn't make my other feelings go away, like my anxiousness about the house being dirty or the laundry not being done or the dishes being in the sink. Knowing that my kids are growing up I don't know. It doesn't take away from the fact that I still want to keep a clean home. And all that saying does is get me more stressed out. This is what I'm trying to say. So there are times when I need to reset my own mind for everybody's well-being. Honestly, because when mommy's not happy, the house is not happy. Let's just, happy wife, happy life, right? Happy mommy. I can't find something that rhymes here, but you're getting the gist here. It's my mental state weighs heavily on my stress level and how I operate. So when I'm able to do something I enjoy, such as cleaning, it really helps me to just navigate through life a little bit easier and happier, and everybody's better for it, truly. As I was cleaning the dishwasher, I realized I never took the plastic film off, which I almost should have left it on because it just keeps it from getting scratched, but peeled that off. This is something I do every night. I always make sure the dishwasher's loaded and on. That way when I wake up in the morning, like after I do this voiceover, I'm going to head upstairs and empty out the clean dishes. But I can lower the lights tonight knowing that I've check something off my box. I hope this video finds you some much needed motivation or just a friend to hang with while you check something off your list. Do something for you. It doesn't have to be cleaning, doesn't have to be house related. Just do something for you because it will help even in the smallest of ways. Can't wait to see you in the next one.
If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home.